A very warm welcome to everyone joining us from across the globe for this year's Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women. This is the most anticipated event of the chess calendar in classical chess, featuring a showdown between world chess champion Gukesh and world #1 Magnus Carlsen. We are live from the beautiful city of Stavanger in Norway to break down all the action. These were some of the highlights from last year, and what an event it has been this year, though promises to set the bar even higher. I'm your host, International Master Anna Rudolph, and I'm joined by an exceptional team of pundits. We've got world-class commentator and coach Grandmaster Christian Kirilla with us, as well as chess icon and five-time world chess champion Vishwanathan Anand, Norwegian football legend and chess enthusiast Erik Thorsvedt. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
This is already the 13th edition of Norway Chess, and that is an event that has been one of the strongest events on the chess calendar for so long, as well as, since last year, Norway Chess Women joining the team. Between the two events, we have 6 of the world's strongest players competing against each other, and with a groundbreaking initiative matching the prize fund for both events, the ladies tournament has the exact same prizes, promoting gender equality in the sport. Both fields will feature a world chess champion, and in Norway Chess, of course, we have Magnus Carlsen, the world #1. Let's bring it back to our studio for some of the matchups of today, and what are we going to focus on mostly during our show?
Absolutely, and first I think we have to go through the format as well. It's a trend-setting format, I have to say, which incentivizes a lot of decisive results. Double round robin tournament, meaning everybody will play everybody twice. The time control is 120 minutes plus 10 seconds bonus starting from move 41. So you have to be really quick because those 10 seconds go by fast. If game is drawn, then we go into the Armageddon immediately. You get 3 points for a classical victory, you get no points for a classical loss, and for an Armageddon victory, you get 1.5 points, an Armageddon loss, 1 point. So those classical victories are very much incentivized. Let's take a look at the pairings. Right now, we're going to start with this absolutely incredible round 1 matchups. Wei versus Arjun, Erigaisi, Fabiano versus Hikaru, and Magnus Carlsen versus Gukesh. And let's take a look at the Norway Chess women's matchup for day 1. Muzichuk against Sarakadem, Koneru Humpy versus Vaishali Ramesh Babu, and LEI TINGJIE versus JU WENJUN. Let's go to the arena as the players are getting ready to start the games.
We will see the ceremonial first move being played on the board of Magnus Carlsen against Gukesh Domraju. All eyes are on this board. This is the game that everyone has been waiting for, and we cannot emphasize how important it is. This is the very first time that Gukesh is playing as the world champion against Magnus Carlsen, the former world chess champion. The guy is doing everything he can, and he's also doing everything he can in terms of confusing Gukesh with not the most popular opening choice. Vishy, how do you see this choice by Magnus, and what's the strategy behind it?
It shows, I think, that Magnus is leveraging his speed chess. He plays a lot of speed chess, a lot of fast time controls. And this is the sort of opening that especially is important there because it's slightly more unpredictable, which is very good for us as spectators. And his openings seem to be moving in that direction. He tests things out there, and he can use them in different situations. Hikaru is quite frank in these things. You could The thing is, you could put out some misinformation if you like, but it's pointless because your opponent is the one person who's not going to hear it.
He looks very excited.
Yeah, it does look.
But how many times have these two faced each other? It must be hundreds,
So many times.
You know.
So
It is hundreds. Also, they've played each other in multiple time controls. And in the faster time controls, they must be over 200 to 300 games already. So many years of playing in the US
Yes.
and so on. So
they shared
Just
9
crazy.
US championships between each other. 5 for Hikaru, 4 for Fabiano. So definitely these two players have been dominating more or less US chess for a very long time. And how is the position? Why did he say it was boring? He also said that if he forgets something, things might get interesting, as in Fabiano might get an advantage. If not, things will peter out into a draw. Is that the case? Is that what you're seeing, Vishy, in this situation?
it's true that it looks like White has conceded some part of his advantage, if you like. Or at least Black's position is extremely solid, and White's only advantage is the two bishops. Since bishops stay on their color the whole time, White's bishops will cover the board, and Black lacks a bishop in the light squares. That's essentially the advantage for White. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking, that Black now will keep tracking the White bishop. If the White bishop comes to this longer diagonal, Black will challenge there and go on. After that, White no longer has the two bishops that I mentioned earlier, and the tendency is that the position is much closer to equality.
This is the position in the game between LEI TINGJIE and JU WENJUN. JU WENJUN is the 5-time Women's World Chess Champion, and her challenger from 2023, LEI TINGJIE, is going to try to do what she couldn't do, unfortunately, for her during that World Chess Championship match. She didn't manage to take the title from her compatriot.
You have these two pawns. Try to visualize this. The pawn on e5 and the pawn on e3. The White bishop is in fact cut off from half the board. It has no way of participating meaningfully on this, everything, the right-hand side of the board.
Exactly.
It is stuck on this corner.
Completely stuck.
And that is maybe one reason that the computer is evaluation, because long-term, it's simply a slightly inferior piece to the knight.
Yeah. That's a great explanation, and it makes me understand the position even better and the plans that we're seeing right now. Obviously, b5 is going to come with some consequences. The thing is, even if you replace this pawn from c6 and go all the way to b5, this knight on d5 is still untouchable.
Yes.
It's such a beautiful knight, this pawn on e6, and she seems to be
She's gone for
something
gold.
else. Yes.
She's sacrificing that pawn to play f4.
Wow, going all in on the right side of the board, heading toward the White king.
She wants
with
the
her
mate.
pieces.
She wants the mate right now. And guys, we do have breaking news. We will have the first Armageddon in just a few moments. Wei and Arjun Erigaisi did make a draw, as we expected.
He has already been thinking for over 15 minutes, and the time is ticking. He's finally choosing a move, and that is a pawn push, e5.
A pawn sacrifice without taking on d4, and you can see the bar swing a bit in White's favor, swing a bit in Magnus'
It is favorable. What is he going to do after d takes e5?
That is a very good question. My guess is that he does want to swing this queen, and finally now this knight is under attack. How do you protect against that?
Yes, queen g6.
Let's take a look at what has happened since. Vishy, what are your thoughts on this endgame?
Armageddon.
We're getting the Armageddon again.
The more Armageddon, the better for us, because that's this fast-paced action where we don't have draws anymore. In case of a draw, Black will win the game. That is the rule in Armageddon chess.
You could capture the other pawn and reestablish the material balance, but the easier way to finish the game would just be to continue giving checks. Check.
Yeah.
And there's no way to escape checks. And I think this is exactly what we're seeing right now. The players are just about to shake hands. This is the board that the players are going to sit at. Wei versus Arjun Erigaisi coming up in just a minute or so.
And as both players mentioned, neither of them have much experience in this format. Arjun Erigaisi playing in Norway Chess for the first time, and Wei himself hasn't had many Armageddon games throughout his career.
But this is fascinating. He's actually playing some very interesting sideline. I wonder, is he going to go f5? No, he's going knight f6. And...
Okay.
Is there a danger for black to become too passive?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's one of the biggest dangers. In fact, you play too passively. You want to hint at a very tight game where you want to make that draw. You're hunting for that draw a bit too much. And then you get into a passive position. The pressure is too much to handle, and you lose the game.
White is developing his pieces very quickly, bringing the rooks to the center of files and maintaining his 1 minute time advantage now.
This is an absolute perfect way to develop your pieces, right? Whenever you first start playing chess, this is what you're being taught.
Yes.
Get your knights out, get your bishops out, put the rooks in the center, make the connection between the rooks, and put them in the center. And that's exactly what Wei. He's playing a very classical game of chess.
This is very nice, because what he's saying is your rook moved away from a1, and so your pawn on a3 is weak.
Yes.
And I might take the pawn, or I might just play b. Oh, he went bishop d5 instead. I thought he would go
perhaps
b5.
Was he worried about d5 maybe?
Wow.
Yes,
d5
that's probably it, yeah.
Maybe bishop h7.
And c4, yeah.
It's all about that queen on d7.
Can we show on the board what will be the tactical pattern for our viewers?
Absolutely. That's a check right there. You have to move the king, and guess what? You're losing the queen.
Yeah.
That's game over. So that's exactly why he did not touch this poison pawn.
But I was wondering if he could have played b5.
That's a good question.
Because it stops the c4 thing. But no, it's not very impressed anyway. What is the winning line here?
Keep going with c4.
Oh, c4, and the knight can't come to b4 and defend the d5 bishop.
And when the black knight takes the white queen, both rooks will be hanging. That is a beautiful tactical pattern of fork.
That is what we call a fork. Exactly. So, big moment. Has he played something? Yes, I think he has played.
Yeah, so he's skipping that. But the problem is now when he attacks the bishop, still knight b4 is quite strong.
He played it on the board.
Queen b1. I think Arjun is through. I mean, bishop c8, and this looks...
He's going all the way back home.
There is still knight e4. Sorry, there is still knight e4.
If he plays queen d7 and he's just about to do it...
I think he's going to drop it back.
It seems like he has it. Queen d7 on the board.
Yes, just played it. Can we explain to our viewers what's double question mark and why this is an exclamation mark? What are these signs in chess? What does it mean?
Question mark means that you made a very bad move. Double question mark means that you're probably right now in a losing position, which is the case. After queen to d7, do not touch the pawn on d5. This was the correct retreat, just because, as Vishy just pointed out, you return with the knight capturing that pawn on d5. You just simply don't have enough firepower against my king on h8. That's it. You have the bishop on h7. Unfortunately, this bishop is not on b1 and the queen on h7. That would be a checkmate.
That would be rather strong.
That would be a pretty strong move if you can flip the pieces. Eric, from your perspective, how are you living this game right now? It's moving very fast, and there's a lot of things happening on the board.
Yes, and to me it looks like one of the players are more used to this format than the other one. But they both said they were not really experienced in Armageddon. But here, Erigaisi has played really, really well.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, double question mark now for Arjun. He also has made a big mistake, it seems.
Big mistake enough to equalize the position.
Yeah.
But you're still not.
He has to win, though.
That's the thing.
And he's got 38 seconds.
Black has draw odds in the Armageddon and also a lot more times. So even though Arjun made a big mistake, it's not big enough of a mistake to lose the game. He lost his advantage, but he still has equality, except Nawe is also making a mistake. In the time scramble, everything can happen. Even top grandmasters are making mistakes.
He's getting 1 second right now.
Yeah.
This is the last move. After bishop to bishop to d4, 1 second.
The 1 second increment, though, is nothing. 1 second increment now from move 40 onwards.
If I had a position like this and I kept getting 1 second, I would at some point just tell the arbiter, tell the clock to keep it second. Don't even want to bother. Feels insulting, no?
Yes.
He's fighting
now rook
on...
c3, and then, he's just... he's saying I can take a draw.
Let's make a draw.
Yeah.
Yes.
Arjun has basically offered a repetition of moves which would have led to a draw. In case of a draw, the black wins. Wei has lost on time in the end, but the position was also collapsing. What a game by the Indian youngster who said he hasn't had many Armageddon games. In this game, though, it didn't feel like he had no experience. He did come very confident to the board and played a very well executed game. We do need to show what is an en passant. I think this, for many of our viewers, and including myself, to this day, I know what en passant is, but I don't know how they came up with this. This is like magic.
This is black magic in chess, yes. Eric, you know about this en passant?
I do, yes. It's one of the big pleasures when you get to play it and
it just disappears.
The opponent, well, he doesn't know that he can play en passant when you move your pawn forward. That happens quite often, actually.
We do have a move.
Gukesh indeed has taken with the en passant capture, this rare
I think, well, he had no
move.
real choice in the matter.
It was this problem, this dilemma that he had to choose from, right? Leave the knight on c3, an absolutely beautiful knight attacking both b5 and d5, or just try to simplify the position as Vishy just prescribed with b4, and he goes for it.
Yes.
And who is already ready for her Armageddon game is LEI TINGJIE against JU WENJUN. A reminder on the Armageddon format that white has more time, starts with 10 minutes against 7 minutes for black, but in case of a draw, black claims the point. So white is in a must-win situation with the extra time, but draw odds for black.
Let's see if she's going to go for the same thing, and LEI seems to be, for the moment, going for the same thing. Yes.
Absolutely, and the rook as well. So many teammates that are not helping the goalkeeper here.
She's going for
she
it.
took on e1, so what's she going to do next? She went rook a7.
I'm just giving you a check.
Checkmate. White was down a piece, sacrificed a piece for this attack, but all the remaining pieces of white were so menacing, attacking the black king, while, as we can see on the left side of the board, the black army is not helping. They are not contributing those 4 pieces of
Completely
black.
on the other side. You have no defenders left.
Did she play bishop e5? That is very impressive.
She did indeed play bishop to
and
e5.
So all this with seconds, but I mean, not being able to spend a lot of time on these decisions, but very good feeling.
Is huge. This one was a huge move.
I was just going to say that this is so exciting, but we also have another game that we've been following closely, and it's heating up, the game between Magnus Carlsen and Gukesh Dommaraju. What has happened since we last checked in with the world champion and the world #1? He's down a piece. He has to
Queen
find it. He
h6, he's
didn't
blundered and
find
he's
it.
lost, yeah.
Oh
wow.
my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Magnus Carlsen about to clinch a victory in the classical game.
Has he got any options?
He needs to find it.
King is the
only thing he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mate, whoever gives the checks first with an exposed king. Usually it leads to a mate.
Magnus Carlsen down to 12 seconds and he still hasn't made a move.
King a2. He found it. Played the best move. This is an absolutely nerve-wracking situation right now for both of these players.
They get a 10-second increment every time they make a move, but it's not much time to think. Gukesh with the rook check, but this is it after the king goes up.
If I take on d4 here, oh, he gave queen b2 check already. I was just thinking if queen d4 offered anything. But
He has to find the precise way to execute this attack.
Good first move, queen to h8.
Next move being the rook check.
7 seconds.
Can he make a mistake? No.
He could still mess it up if he doesn't give the right checks.
Gukesh is up to 47 seconds. Magnus, 8 seconds right now. Queen f8 is the only clean win, and he finds it.
oh, because king e4, you simply go queen a8 and collect the
X-ray.
No, is that,
The rook on the
that fair?
diagonal.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, because then you get king.
It's
queen
happening.
c4.
The black king is in the center of the board
Are you
trying
sure
to
rook
hide
e6
from the
doesn't
checks.
Only move, rook,
Rook
to
e6
e6.
wins. So that
Only
was the
move.
key. Yeah.
And Magnus finds rook to e6 check. Exclamation mark. The only way to keep the winning advantage.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now he knows it. There's no way to escape this one at this point. If you go king here. Now I will just simply continue
Queen
with
F3.
queen f3, and you're simply going to lose this queen. There's no way to stop it.
Yeah.
You're losing the queen right now. He knows it. It's too easy. Gukesh resigns, and Magnus takes the first victory and the lead in the tournament. First classical victory of Norway Chess. 3 points to the good for Magnus, and a huge victory against the world champion. Knight takes e3. I'm going to start collecting not only that.
So simply here, king c2 and
King c2,
oh,
king
c3.
c3.
Both are.
Wow, what a swindle.
No, it looks like he followed some plan, and at some point Fabi lost the plot completely.
Yes, knight to f5.
Knight to e6 and king back to d2, and that's it. Yeah.
And we might be seeing a resignation. It's still about that clock. Fabi hasn't gotten out of that danger zone. The last 30 seconds. Knight
And I think
takes
Fabi
e6.
is going to resign now, yeah.
It's time.
Indeed, this is a victory for Hikaru Nakamura in the classical format. So also he's getting 3 points for this win with the black pieces. What a feat for Hikaru. And it felt like Fabiano, he had this endgame where we thought that he could hold the draw. It seemed like the position was safe enough, but he didn't have time. This is the last game of the round here on day one of Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women.
Oh, no, she's a pawn up. Okay, sorry.
His upper pawn, luckily for her, a bit less time, and there is no increment yet. This is the Armageddon where white has to win. In case of a draw, black gets the point for the Armageddon game.
Sarah is doing a very good thing, and that is trying
Wait.
to soften up
Queen
the
c4
white
now,
king.
because she has put the pawn on h4. Oh, no, queen c4. And if you capture on g3, I get to take on f7 with the check. That must have been...
That was a good point. That was a good point right here. If you go here, then... But
Yeah.
things are moving fast.
Yeah, queen e2 is a blunder. Wolf.
And it's already a passed pawn on b5. The black queen needs to try to stop this pawn.
Well, it was not the end of the world. I mean, queen e5 check, you have f6. But...
Queen to b2.
No, queen b2 and
The
b6. Yeah.
evaluation
B6,
board is
B7.
jumping up and down, but now after the queen check, the pawn can run and promote to a queen. There is no way that black can prevent it from being pushed now.
No way to stop it after queen to b2.
And
It's game
Sarah
over.
resigns.
Oh, she even resigned, yeah.
What a game this has been, and what a day this has been. Our key game of the day has been the one between the world chess champion Gukesh and the world #1 Magnus Carlsen, who won his game in the classical format. Let's take a look at what happened in Norway Chess round 1.
Absolutely, round 1, Arjun Erigaisi wins the Armageddon against Wei and gets 1.5 points. Hikaru Nakamura, an absolutely brilliant victory with the black pieces, crucial victory against his compatriot Fabiano Caruana, and of course, Magnus defeating the world champion Gukesh. This was the marquee result of the day. And let's take a look at what we have in the women's section.
The only classical win was by Humpy Koneru, the game that we have just broken down. What a mistake by Vaishali. That will be a difficult one to forget, but she will need to, because there's another 9 days to go. The other 2 games went down to the Armageddon, while Anna Muzichuk won her game with the white pieces in Armageddon, and also with the white pieces, LEI TINGJIE won in Armageddon. I think today that means that white has won more games in Armageddon. We are signing off, but we will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women continue from the beautiful city of Stavanger in Norway. We shall see you tomorrow with more action.